I saw this Paddock drop. About to drop, man. They got this green face 5711. I sort of want right now. Man, I bought this bit for under retail like 5 years ago. Now Paddock is crazy.
Yeah, stupid.
Man.
Rolex came out with green phase too. That shit, you can't even get it nowhere though.
Man, nah, I mean, but it's Rolex. Rolex is never gonna lose its flavor. You know what I'm saying? Like,
You know, 2 Chainz says several watches later, I still rock a Rollie.
still rock and roll. I don't believe in Richard Mille. Richard Mille is just like the culture pushing Richard Mille.
Yeah, that shit's crazy to me when I see like a
$300,000 rubber strap.
Rubber strap, bro, with a couple of diamonds around it. I said, wow. Their
do
unit prices like gotta be
Ridiculous.
low.
That's what I'm saying.
Low. Well, shit, we jumping right into it. It's another episode of the Tyler Gill Show. I got my main man, Cam Jordan, Big Levels in the building. What's going on, my man?
Man, just another blessed day.
Another
you know?
blessed. I really appreciate you pulling up on me, man. We out here in Scottsdale. I know that's a bit of a slide for you up the 101.
Big Snobsdale, but you know, vibe.
Yeah, that's exactly where we at, man. So you spent a lot of time here in the off season.
Yeah, I'm a Chandler kid. Went to Chandler High. You know, I'm a AZ kid. So whenever I can, I shoot back here. The last couple of years, you know, I've been having kids, so I've been stuck in the boot the whole time, making it year round. But New Orleans is second home. They show so much love. I can't help but love it.
Absolutely, New Orleans, man. That's a crazy city. The place never sleep.
Man, I mean, you know, any good town never sleeps. You know, you got Vegas, you got New Orleans. You know, shoot, Scottsdale. Some nights don't go to sleep.
That's true.
But, you know, I guess that was some years ago, back when I was younger and hitting the Rhino.
Oh yeah, he was out there having a good time with it, man. I know exactly how that goes. What New Orleans, bro? What's your favorite part about being out there? I mean, there's so much culture out there.
Man, I mean, honestly, it's the community. I mean, it's the feel you get when you walk down the street. It's everything, knowing that, you know, the city is behind the team. So when I say we have the best fan base, it really is a true spot where it's like, you know, the grandparents probably went to the first Saints games. You know, they brought their kids, and, you know, their kids now are adults and bringing their kids to the games. So it's like a legacy situation, and at the same time, it's that feel that, you know, win, lose, or draw, you know, the fans are going to be the same. It's not like, you know, it's not like some teams where if they got a bad season,
like the Cowboys,
the community turns on them.
Yeah,
I
know you ain't gonna say no. I'm a Cowboys fan, so I can say that. I know that
Cowboys have had it rough since half the team went to jail in the '90s. So you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, it's been a long ways coming. But I'm saying them fans, man, they're brutal.
Man, you know,
they want it now.
The whole NFC East is brutal.
Yeah, it's a rough skip over there. Speaking of NFC, man, what did you think when Tom Brady came to the Bucs?
I mean, you know,
like when he first. How about this? What was your thought when he first came, and then now?
Probably still the same. I mean, you've got one of the guys who, you know, it's going to suck to try and sack him just because he gets the ball out so fast. I mean, I call him check down king, but he's methodical about how he goes about it. So there's a reason why he does as great as he does. I mean, I probably still think the same about him. I mean, he's probably the greatest to ever win championships.
Is he the hardest quarterback you've ever played against, or
of course not. I mean, you've got
who is the hardest?
It depends on how you look at it. You know, fastest release. There was one time where, you know, Matt Ryan had the fastest release in the game, and then, you know, he started to get methodical. I appreciate that about him. And then you talk about, you know, Cam Newton, his first 8 years in the league. I mean, you try and hit him, you bounce off of him, and he'd take off rolling. MVP. You talk about Pat Mahomes, what he can do, you know, the gunslinging madness. Aaron Rodgers, he'll do, you know, he'll run around without a hamstring if he has to. I mean, for as much flack as Aaron Rodgers catches, I mean, dude is a complete baller. I mean, he's so talented.
Oh, yeah. Other than Aaron Rodgers, who's the greatest Cow Bear, you think?
Dang. I mean, shout out, go Bears. It probably
if you think it's yourself, you could say that.
No, I mean, I don't. I think it's probably like, you know, D-Jack. Deshaun Jackson is for sure. Marshawn Lynch.
Lit the world on fire, both of them.
Absolutely. If I think run stoppers, I think, you know, Brandon Mebane. I feel like I'm up there. I'm probably top 5. I think I could slide top 3 if I feel biased enough.
There you go.
Tony Gonzalez. Like I say, it's tough.
There's a ton of them. If we peel it back one more, I want to get. I even texted some of my boys last night to see what they thought that played at Hamilton and Chandler. Who's your best Hamilton Husky of all time, and who's your best Chandler Wolf of all time?
Terrell Suggs probably fills the role for both shoes.
But let's not count him as Chandler.
See, we can't claim him even though he don't claim us. It's perfectly fine. Like, it hurts, but it is what it is. You know, like I
Right.
grew up and Terrell Suggs was a running back. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right. He was a
out
man
there,
amongst boys.
out there. He was Everson Griffin out there chucking these little kids.
Right.
Except Everson played in the 3A league.
Right.
He played over at Agua Fria. So
Right. I was a kid when he played, and the only other person I feel like that really got Hamilton, and he didn't go as far, but Jarrell Robinson. He
Oh, yeah.
really had Hamilton like the going to the games fun and exciting.
I should say, you know, for receivers anyways, for Hamilton it was Kerry Taylor.
Kid was great.
Yeah, he was solid. Nothing fast about him. Like he wasn't super fast, but his work ethic was bar none. I mean, I think he had a couple years in the league stint. I think he's a coach now.
Right. So
he's like a coach
I'll tell
out of Baylor
you,
or something like that.
out of everybody I asked, bro, every single person I asked, everybody came back with Terrell Suggs and Cam Jordan.
Yeah.
I literally did not get. I got a couple honorable mentions for the Wheaton brothers.
Okay, yeah, absolutely.
You know, those my. I even asked Marquise. That's my boy. I
They'll
asked
say
him. I said,
Tay went crazy back in the day,
Right.
but yeah, in terms of defensive, man, we was going crazy.
yeah,
we was going crazy.
y'all really had something going up there, man. So what was your favorite win as a Husky?
As a Wolf.
I mean, as a
You
Wolf, sorry,
You know,
as a
we
Husky.
don't deal with that dark red. And then I went to college, and we still don't deal with that red. So, you know, as a Wolf, it was all the same thing. If you don't win a championship, what does it really matter?
True. What year did you do varsity?
All of them.
Freshman year.
Yeah. I went from a fat boy to a defensive end. I was an offensive
What
lineman
middle school
first.
did you go to?
Bogle.
Where's that at?
You Bogle? Come on, man. It's a great junior high off of like Alma School down in Chandler.
Oh, so it's in Chandler. I was
Yeah,
gonna say,
yeah.
how'd end
You
up
know,
at
there's
Chandler High?
Anderson, there's Willis,
Yeah,
and then
Anderson.
and then
I know
there's-
Anderson and Willis. I never heard of Bogle.
There's the collar popping, Bogle. It's like it was like Hamilton back in the day. You know, it was like
Right.
it was like everybody wanted to be at the new shiny school. I just got sectored in because of our district situation.
Was football like? Was that always just what you did full time, or did you ever have a job?
Yeah.
What was your first job?
My first job was in college. I was a college student peer advisor. So I was that kid that was like in school showing you the campus as well as, you know, telling your parents like why it's perfectly normal for your kid to, you know, have these expectations of going into college, etc. And so I had, you know,
So you were like the middleman between the parents and the players?
sort
or?
of yeah, for like summer bridge program for sure.
Right,
You know,
liaison kind of.
low key.
Yeah.
It was like the perfect job for me, like, you know, because I'm charismatic as they come. So I'm talking to the kids, and at the same time, like I'm only a year ahead of them. So I'm really getting to know all the tennis players, all the soccer players, all the baseball players, all the softball players, and then, you know, so you just sort of get to know everybody. It sort of helps, you know, level the playing field.
Absolutely. When did you know you were going pro? Was it like, did you know like in high school? Did you like, when did it like, click that moment where you're like, I'm definitely going to get there?
I think I said it probably like in high school. I was like, yeah, I'll probably go pro. You know, pops went pro. I'm gonna go pro. Like, you know, it's like if your dad's a doctor, I'm probably gonna be a doctor. You know,
Right.
but you don't really understand what it takes to achieve that dream. So somewhere in college, my second or third year in league, you know, like my first year in league, my first year in college, I'm watching Deshaun Jackson return kicks. You know, we had Javid Best out there wheeling. I was like, all right, so I don't think I'm in the same league. You know, like
You're right.
Then my second year in the league, you know, or second year in the league, I keep saying league, shoot. My second year at Cal, we had, you know, it was like me and Tyson Alulu starting. I was a starter. I was feeling myself. I was quite high in
sure.
life. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
For
Like
sure.
you're 18 years old, 19 years old, and you've got the world ahead of you, and you feel like you own part of this world. And then my junior year, Tyson Alulu went into the league after my junior year. So he went to the league and was like 10th overall to Jacksonville. So now,
Right.
you know, he's still in the league. So he went from Jacksonville, played like 4 or 5 years, then went to Pittsburgh, played like 5 years. Thought he was going back to Jacksonville, and then switched up on him and went and stayed in Pittsburgh, right? But he went like 10th or 11th overall, and I was like, yeah, all right, bet. I was like, yo, me and Tyson are similar. Like
Right.
I'm locked in. I was like,
Right.
you know, my junior year, I thought about going to the league. And I was like, you know, we threw some feelers out. Pops knew some people. We didn't even throw like an official. It was just like, yo, you probably got like a 3rd to 5th round if you went right now. And I was like, nah. I was like, yeah, but Tyson went first.
Right.
I was like, and if I wait a year and just play out my senior year, I'm probably going first too.
Right.
So honestly, I that's when I really like focused in on school, or not focused in on school, focused in on football, and probably forgot about school.
Right.
Like,
and really just put
bro,
your head down.
I
and
was
move.
I was legitimately like friends and football. Like had there been a bowl game, I try and tell people like I don't know if I would have made it. Like that last semester, I was like, yo, I'm doing everything I can to be the best athlete I can be, and then I'm doing everything I can to enjoy the time that I'm in now. Because I'm gonna look back and be like, oh, that was a good time, but I'm gonna be like 12 years in the league.
Did you get sidetracked a lot in high school and in college? I mean, everybody's got stuff going on outside of playing ball, but I'm saying, did you ever have trouble with that? Like just trying to stay like, just extracurricular shit.
No, not at all. Shoot, my parents so strict, bro. Like if party started at 10, my curfew was already 9. You know what I'm saying? Like
You couldn't even go.
My mom's was a house mom. She stayed at the crib. Like her main job was like she was doing like. She built on her little salon, so she did hair. She built the salon at the crib, so there was no like
leaving or pulling around.
Nah, like yeah, there was no like,
nothing.
oh, I got some waylay time. Nah, like that's
happening.
dead. Like even when I was with my cousins, live down the street. We're all from like whole family from Arizona, so I'm like, I'm going to the cousin's house. Like be back by 9, and don't make me come find you.
Right.
Like so, like you know what I'm saying. Like there was no like, hey, we gonna get in some trouble. No, there was no trouble.
Right.
Like when kids be like, hey man, we was out till 2 last night. How? Like
I was one of those kids.
No, like I understand it.
No, there's different paths to it. And you learn different
For sure.
things, bro. There's different foundations that get set, different understandings and learnings, and you always still gonna have the good and the bad. Like you're gonna find your ways to have your fun and find your ways to be good. Like I found ways to put myself in check because I didn't have that guidance and put down. So
For sure.
it's a yin and yang.
I found
thing.
that in college. that first weekend, you don't come home. You come back to the dorm room like realize I got hella freedom.
Right.
Like
so college, did like what your parents set up for you like in high school as far as like being tight to rules, or were you got into college like I'm free, I'm about to do this and I'm about to do this, but I'm definitely going out, I'm definitely gonna be social.
Yeah. That first week, bro, like you know what I'm saying, like the parents come with you.
Did you meet your wife at Cal?
Hell no.
Where'd you meet your wife?
I don't know how I didn't meet my wife at Cal, but no.
She went to
Cal? No, she went on an official visit. She was a baller. She was like a real deal baller. Like I was a 3-star recruit. She was like, McDonald's All-American, like number 2 point guard in the nation at the time, or number 3 point guard in there, like whatever it was. Like she had UConn, like all the big schools for basketball, like UConn, Duke. Her dad was rocking Duke gear like since like her 9th grade year or so 8th grade year, whatever. And then she chose Rutgers.
Why? Like
Exactly. We like everybody
y'all
makes
always just
everybody
give
makes
a
fun.
shit for
It was like supposed to be like the female version of the Fab Five when they went. It was like her, Akeem Olajuwon's daughter. It was like two. It was like 4 of the top 10 girls in the nation.
So
going
she
to
still
Rutgers.
got you in a game of horse, no doubt.
Game of horse, absolutely.
Like just every like 9 out of 10 times she's getting you. I mean,
probably
I can't
10
shoot.
out of 10. She got a way sweeter jumper than me. Like her jumper is water. Like it, like once she finds her like the stroke, like you know what I'm saying. Like her consistency is astronomical. And so, but if we playing like actual hoops,
Yeah, 'cause
we got.
you
I mean,
got
no,
a
but
big body.
we got rules. Like I can't go into the paint. I can't box out. Like there's rules to like super even it up.
That's dope.
But moving jumper, I'm here for that. Set jumper. She got it. She Klay Thompson. Like,
Right.
She hitting that thing. She hitting her spot, and that's it.
What about the little ones? What sports do they gravitate to most as of now? Is it football? Because
They got no choice. They T-ball all day. We gonna get this. We gonna get this money where they ain't like body gonna feel great. Like you know what I'm saying?
Like
Like
get them in baseball,
man,
hitting homers, not hitting
baseball.
people.
Like it's not even like you know what I'm saying. Like so we're gonna throw them in baseball. Eventually get them into soccer, volleyball, track, but. Basketball is a little hard on the body, and football is suicide. So,
right.
I'm only.
If they grow up and they want to do that though, you
Absolutely, I'm with it. Like I'm
how's
here
the
to be.
missus feel about football? Because football is one of them things where like some women, generally speaking, don't want their kids.
Oh yeah, no, we're on the same page. Like they're not gonna play football. Like if they want to play football, they can play flag until
It's appropriate.
Yeah, till they're teenagers.
Right.
12, 13,
Right.
really 13, 14. Like I didn't start till
And then by
I was,
genetics, your kids are going to be big enough
My
to handle
dude,
their
my son
Tank?
big. Yeah, Tank.
I
Tank
see
J.
him running around. I see him. I'm like, man, that kid gonna be.
Bro, they're like he's 8, right? Nah, he's 5. Like, my dog is hella big. He's 5 and he's in 10 T's at this
Right.
point. Like dude's big.
Very aware and social too. I can see
Man,
that.
absolutely.
For a young
and
kid.
like he knows he handsome and he knows he's like
he's got the charm and he knows he plays it well, huh?
No, he's hella confident. Like I wish I had his confidence.
So he
when
get
I
that
was his age.
from mom or dad?
I'm just gonna chuck it up to me. I'm just,
Gotta take that one.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like everybody else is a little bit more humble. My dog Tank has like my football personality in him as a regular person.
Right.
Like I touch the field, I feel untouchable. He like touches the morning and he feels untouchable.
Right.
Like he wakes up at 5 o'clock in the morning, like, all right, it's go time. Nah, bro, lay your ass down.
Right.
Like chill out.
Yeah.
But he's like, nah, Dad, the sun's up, I'm up. Nah, you right. All right.
You gotta get him started early.
Yeah.
So all decade team, bro. That's like
it's accolade.
it's an accolade, but I'm saying that's saying like that's 10 years worth of work, bro.
Yeah.
And I look at I've always followed you. I look at like your stats. After a few years in the league, your numbers really started to increase. Was that due to like adjusting to the game speed, figuring out where you're at? Did you get better mentally? Did you get better physically? Like, how do you feel? Because there was a point in time where you really, even to now, like, 10 sacks a season,
right.
really playing your ball.
I mean, at this point, it was opportunity, honestly. I felt that, like, I came into the league and I was like, I want to be the best all-around defensive end. Like, I want to be the best. And guys typically come to the league like, I want to be a pass rusher. Like, pass rush, like, all the fans care about is sacks. But there's so much more to it. It's like, if you can't hold your edge, what does it matter if you can't play first and second down? I came in with the mentality, I'm going to play first through fourth. I got to the Saints. I was like, you know what time it is. I'm a first rounder. Like, give me the reins. And they were like, slow down, buddy. Earn your reins. Like where they do this at? Like,
right,
you know what I'm saying?
Right.
There's a reason you came to get me. Like, give me the world. And they honestly was like, look, we drafted you to be really a D tackle. And I was like, nah, that's not who I am. But that first year I played, inside of the tackle, 4-eye down to a nose at sometimes.
Like that helped you at all?
Man, absolutely. It gave me that edge too. It was like just because I put in the career I had at college and whatever it was, like you have to earn every step. And so I was given like first and second down, but I had to take third.
Right.
So that second year, they gave me a little bit of leeway, and I spazzed for like 7.5, and then I never looked back.
Do you remember like a play or a moment or a game where they were just like, all right, we got to let Cam do Cam?
Yeah, Philadelphia, Michael Vick at the helm. And they're like, it was like first quarter, I think, sack. It was like, then it was like, all right, Cam, we'll go get it. And I looked up, I was 80 plays deep, but I was also 3 sacks in. Like, what's up?
Right.
So I'm looking back at the coaches, I was like, this is what happens if you let me do what I want to do. And they're like, nobody plays all 80. I was like, bro, don't worry about what nobody else does. I mean, in high school, I was playing 2 ways.
Right.
That's a norm. You know what I'm saying? In college, if they would have let me, I was doing I would have played both ways as well. I would have been a tight end, offensive lineman, whatever it took to get on the field. I doubt I would have been tight end. I've been adamant.
You think you catch a couple passes now?
I'm adamant about not being a tight end just because Pops was.
Man, you got to get one touchdown in before the career's over.
I got one. Interception.
Yeah, I'm saying get
interception tug.
You don't want a receiving touchdown?
Nah, probably not.
Come on, just jump over somebody and catch.
I mean, I would probably take like a fullback dive on the goal line.
You'd rather run it in?
Absolutely. I would love to posterize somebody like a little linebacker, because you know how linebackers are going down now. Like linebackers are like 225, 230 now.
Yeah,
they're really in-box safeties.
They're trying to play some coverage.
It's not like some
back.
years ago. Yeah, it's not like Lance Briggs back in the day where you 265.
Ain't no double nickel.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it's linebackers now are starting to get light there. So I go ahead and get that fullback dive. Like my boy, my boys be 230, 235. I'm gonna tax that ass.
Right, you a whack 'em.
That's what I'm saying.
I feel that. When did you know before the season Drew Brees was on his way out? Was that something that the locker room was like? I mean, obviously. So
I mean, everybody had speculations for like the last 7 years.
Same as everybody else.
Yeah, exactly.
You just
Nobody.
don't know.
It's like, oh, Drew's gonna retire this year.
Was there a moment beforehand? Like, did he literally he didn't know and just decided?
No, I didn't know anything, and I think I've preferred it that way. Everybody's always been like, Sean may move on to another team, never does. Drew may retire, never did until this year.
Right.
They've been saying that at least half of my career, like, oh, Drew's going to retire this year. Bro, Drew keeps on putting up phenomenal numbers every year, so why are we worried about it?
Right.
I worry, I know my best position to hit a playoffs to have a chance at a Super Bowl is, with Drew playing, because we always going to, you're guaranteed 7 wins.
Right.
My lowest in 10 years has been like a 7-9 season. And that sounds rough, but it's not terrible. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're always playing for a playoff contention until the last couple weeks.
Right.
Like, I think the earliest we've been eliminated was like 2 weeks out. And that was one time.
How hard is it to get to those 2 heartbreaking NFC Championship games in a row? And obviously, you keep going.
4 in a row.
Well, yeah,
well, really 3, because this last one we lost to Tampa.
But the two in a row, bro, were heartbreaking. The pass interference call.
3 in a row were heartbreaking. There was Stephon Diggs, the Minnesota Miracle. That was like Stephon Diggs turned into a real wide receiver from there. Like everybody was like, oh, it's Adam Thielen and Stephon Diggs. Then after our game, it was like Stephon Diggs and
he went
Adam
for a bunch
Thielen.
of shit to Buffalo.
No doubt. And then he started going crazy. That was 4 years ago.
They really do force feed him the ball in Buffalo. But anyways, go ahead.
But he's still cold with his routes.
Yeah.
I would say he's still snagging them things.
Yeah, he really
like he became a top tier receiver probably after our catch.
Right.
And then the next year was the Rams.
That BS pass interference.
No
call.
doubt, smash my dog right under the chin strap. Then you could, if you don't call that, you could still called the one on Drew where it was helmet to helmet on Drew.
Right.
And you're like, oh, all right, bro, just do your job. But that's what you get. You understand that the league, like, you can't ever let it be close. And so the third year was the Kyle Rudolph push off.
Right.
And you're like, bro, like,
when are you gonna catch a break?
Like, if it comes close, like, we're not gonna catch that push. So we gotta blow somebody out the water. We gotta make it our game. And then last year, or this past season, we lose to Tampa. You're like, damn it, like, you hate to play a team 3 times.
Right.
Like, we've beaten Drew, we beat Tom, and then we lost to Tom.
Right.
And
it's hard to beat anybody 3 times
it's
in
tough.
any sport. It doesn't
then,
matter how.
Then you catch all the flack, like, oh, you couldn't beat Tom Brady.
We beat him twice in a row.
Yeah, twice. Opening game and then back, when AB entered the fray. This time, all right, we lost. And, at some point, I don't even know what the score was. We lost by like 10, but we had like 4 or 5 turnovers.
Right.
We should have had a special teams situation where we would put us in a favorable position, but then we caught with like some lame penalty. But those are self-inflicted wounds. When you cut yourself, you can't be bad at anybody but yourself.
Right. That's true. Other than Coach Payton, or save you there. Who's your favorite coach you've played for? It could be head coach, position coach.
Tosh Lupoy. He was my guy. I think he's over at Jacksonville now. He's the new coach over at Jacksonville. He was just at Atlanta. We scraped him twice, and then was like, hey, bro, you should probably get out of here. And then they fired everybody, so he had no choice, right? They fired everybody top down, except for probably him, because he's probably the second coldest D-line. He's tied for first, like the best D-line coach in terms of pushing out skills. I mean, what he does. What he did in college set up my foundation for now. And it wasn't until my guy Ryan Nilsson came into the fray about just, the games you play, the hand games that you want to do, the breaking down film. He's on that level of a Tosh Lupoy.
Okay. How much of the game do you think you feel like is from a player's level is political? Because I feel like there's so many players that are talented that don't make it because there's other parts to the game than being on the field.
Man, again, some of that is self-inflicted too, because when you see like some of these super talented guys, you also see like the distractions that they're bringing with them.
Right.
It's like, he's super talented, but he's also late to some meetings. He's super talented, but he keeps his entourage with him. Like, you don't know if you can fully be like, hey, this is our dependable. Like, he has a baller game, but the next game he looks uninterested. Like, there's so many distractions. But politics, I was told early on, politics come into play, but talent always prevails if you have the dedication to prove it.
That's a good saying. Say it again.
Exactly. Look, so you could have the talent, right? And you could have everything going your way, but if you have distractions, you have these mental distractions, you have these outside distractions that are going to take anything away from this game. If you're not 100% to this game will run away from you. Like, all it's looking for is an excuse to pay somebody else cheaper, to find somebody else who can do similar to your job.
A handful of players in the league that are probably top 10 to 12 at their position. They get hit for the low-end discount every time because they know they can keep them sectioned in that spot because of the other things they could throw on them when it comes time to ink.
No doubt.
On the paper.
Oh, for sure.
And that's it's unfortunate because I think, like you said,
I tell all my young guys, like, bro, don't give them a reason not to pay you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're 2 years away from a deal, you're 3 years away from a deal, like, who cares about, your boys back home for 2 years? Your boys will be there in 3 years when you're paid.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Who cares about, like, if your mom is really struggling, like, move her in with you.
Right.
Like, who cares if, you know what I'm saying, if you want to buy her own house? Bro, you got a house. Put her in there for a year or two. Like, if you came from nothing, like, I've got guys like, man, I ain't came from nothing, so I got to buy, I got to take care of the family. Bro, yes and no. I'm going to tell you what, Sean Payton has always told us. You're the most important person, but you're not the most important person. You know what I'm saying? Like,
it's true.
If you're the best that you can be, that's gonna make our team better. But if you're a distraction, then you're doing nothing but hurting yourself.
You can't help anybody else around you.
And you can't help anybody else around you. Like, if you ain't taking care of what you need to take care of on the field, You can't get that bigger paycheck to buy mom a crib. So you go to you say you want to buy your mom a house. Focus on this first contract. First, focus on us winning the Super Bowl. We win the Super Bowl, you're gonna buy your mom a house with play money.
Right.
That's that off the season money. You know, like off the season, like
endorsement money.
Exactly.
Right.
Like you focus on what you have to focus on. Everything else can take care of itself.
Right.
You worried about today. Worry about next year. Worry about your future.
So speaking about that future,
Bro, you saw me roll up in what I'm rolling up in, bro. I got a 2011 Tahoe.
Right.
I don't care about cars. Like it's all that stuff is
point A to point B.
That's it.
And I know for a fact, not a lot of people who get in the league think like that at all. They don't think longevity. They think, for the moment, So that's.
Well, Pops dropped a dime on me a long time ago. He said, "Hey man, like when you get into the league, one house, one car, one girl." And I was like, "What does a girl got to do with nothing?" But then you see
how this shit goes.
It's not even about like multiple baby mamas or all this other stuff. It's the distraction piece of it. Like if I try and tell wifey, I'm like, baby, like if you like, I'm saying, God forbid, like if something bad happened, I would never get married again. Like I'm not going to like I don't want to date anymore. Like this sound like the energy involved to put into somebody.
Just with people.
Bro, like when I was younger, you know what I'm saying? Like life was great.
Right.
It was Houston, Atlanta, Vegas. It was whatever it was. You know what I'm saying? Like it was a good time. But it's like when you have to invest all this energy in so many different avenues, it takes away from what you really want to focus on.
That's true. That's very true. And I think a lot of people can't identify that. They just go with the glimmer and the glamour and what's shiny and what they can get to next.
Hey, we all got our vices. Like I got a watch vice and I got shoe vices, but shoes is free.
Man, I see all them. I see all them custom Jordans you get sent to you first. You get them first. You get the ones that don't even drop.
I mean, I got some. I'm not a PJ Tucker, but I feel like I'm getting there.
You get in some gear, man. As far as just real quick with the Saints quarterback. Jameis Winston, Taysom Hill, different. I mean, I know that's not your side of the ball. I know, but I'm just saying, what's y'all thoughts as a locker room?
2 years ago, we went 5-0 with Teddy Bridgewater. Last year, we went 3-1 with Taysom. I feel like if we give Jameis the helm, everybody knows what he's capable of. At this point, we need a capable quarterback, and we know Jameis can do damage. Taysom can be efficient, and so we just worry about what we worry about. I mean, we already talked about it as a defense. Look. The last couple of years, we've made strides to where we've been a top 5 defense the last, 3?
Right.
Top 3 defense and run stopping the last 2 for sure. 3 maybe. And when we talk about what we want to do, like if it doesn't matter who's at quarterback helm if they can't score more than 10 points.
It's true. Very true.
So that's what we're working on.
So when it comes to a mental game for you, because obviously you're a very well put together person mentally. I could tell by watching you and the way you move and stuff. When you do hit your rut, what do you do and who do you go to? Because obviously you got your wife, you could talk to her, but who do you get in the car and call and tell them the real shit?
When we say rut, we talking about like on the field rut, off the field rut?
I'm talking about like all of it, bro, because it all ties into one at the end of the day, right? Like you got to have your head clear, your mental clear. Something's weighing on you. What does Cam do to get out of that spot?
I'll say, as I've been told all my life, I'm so like I compartmentalize so many different things. Like everything doesn't like nothing meshes. It's like my food on my plate. I don't like it to touch.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like so it took a minute because like if I do something with football, like I keep my family sort of fully separate from it.
Right.
Like you see me at like community events, or whatever. Like my family over here, so I can be football player Cam.
Right.
And then like, but wifey was like, yo, why don't you bring us there? Like we should be all right, let me work on this. Like I don't know what I'm saying? Like it's not because I don't want you there, it's just because
intertwining the two lives. And there's there's a lot of, and this is weird too. I've noticed that's a really good point. I've never thought about life like that because I do so many different things. Like I got a print shop, I'm doing the podcast stuff, I got music, I do a lot of stuff with Tyron Matthew off the field. So I just like everything's just one big day, right. And it's like it's important to remember that like this is this,
no doubt,
this is that is that, and how'd you get good at that?
That's how I've always been, but like now, like I said, it's different with a full family. You know what I'm saying? Like she wants to be a part of everything. It's dope to have the kids around. So I'm learning that it's okay to mesh through, but because it doesn't matter. Like if we're at a dinner out in New Orleans, like fans are gonna come up whenever, regardless.
Right.
So I can't just separate the two at all times. So it's like, all right, well, let me integrate how I can, and then like we'll figure it out. So she's helping me become like more integrated in that terms. Because I'm like, yo, babe, I'm gone for 2 hours. Where are you going? Bro, like I gotta go handle some stuff.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like
she seemed like a good yin to your yang. I see
no
y'all
doubt
bullshitting all the time.
At this point in time, like social media is so prevalent. Like like if you really want to know, you just turn on Twitter. Like,
check
they're
it
gonna
out.
be like, yo, they saw Cam at Whole Foods. Oh, he was here. Like, you're gonna know all my moves.
You're gonna know exactly what I was doing, who I was with, pictures, all that.
Everything. Like, oh, he went to the stadium. How'd you know? Oh, he took a picture with a couple kids. Oh, he went here. He took a picture with an old lady. Like, at this point, it is what it is.
Right.
Like, you can just bookmark me.
Find out, pin them. Your podcast.
Yeah. Big Truss Levelz.
Big Truss Levelz, man. I watched a few episodes through the time, man. You guys got. I like your vibe, man. You and Mark, y'all show your personalities really. You know, a lot of people get in that and try to be very like booth oriented. You know,
right?
Y'all show your personality. What like after the league? Are you planning on like? You definitely seem like you're gonna be an announcer. Like if I had to guess, that's what. What does Cam want to do? What do you like?
I just want to live. I'm just gonna live. I'm gonna live my best life until I can't no more. You know, I don't know what it entails. You know, I don't know if that's gonna be an analyst. I don't know if that's gonna be, you know, slide in a Good Morning Football, Good Morning America, like whatever it is. I mean, telecasting is cool. Telebroadcasting is cool. My podcast is great. I mean, if anything, I'm just trying to have fun with it. If I can't have fun with it, then I'm really just wasting time because at this point, money is not really the motive.
Right. So at this point,
money
like,
had been the motive for probably like 6-7 years at this point. Like
right.
after I had after the first contract, I was like, man, I can live off this for the rest of my life. And the second contract, I was like, we got legacy money.
Right.
And then this third blessing, I was like, hey, like I'm trying, like it wasn't about the money. It was just about the respect.
Right. So what do you plan to, like, I know you're active in the community. Like, I know I had read at one point every single Monday. Tuesday. All right.
That's my off day.
You already know where I'm coming with it.
Yeah.
You go to the children's hospital.
No. We just talk to kids, man. As much
You used to do that before the pandemic, though, right? You would pull up there?
But the pandemic was so awesome. Like, bro, like now I just hop on Zoom calls. Like, I don't have to leave the house.
It's perfect.
Like, I'm finding myself more and more like, I'll be at the crib.
Right.
And they're like, hey, could you talk to the kids? Absolutely. Zoom me in, bro.
Right.
Blue G me. They're like,
right.
you know, Google Team me. Like,
whatever you need. Just send me the link.
Just send me the link.
I'm
clicking. I'm in.
Yeah.
But you know, every Tuesday I used to go out into the community, and that, like, when I was younger, it was way easier to do because it was like you didn't have a time frame. Now it's like, you know, the kids get home by 2. You want to be there for the kids. Like, the kid aspect, the family aspect is a completely different dream. But it's like, so you go into the community. I mean, you work out early in the morning, and I'm a natural early riser anyway, so it doesn't matter. Like, you cook breakfast for the kids and wifey, dip out, go talk to some kids at elementary, high school, whatever it is, and set that up. I mean, that's so easy to give an hour back to your time.
Was it instilled in you, like your pops, and was like, hey, there's something you gotta do? Or did you see it at some point and decide, or like? Obviously, I know firsthand that it feels good to do it. When you connect and you do it, that's the reason why you do it. But what got you there?
I mean, I've always had, you know, my pops who gives out knowledge at any given chance. Hell, if you call him right now, he's gonna drop some dimes on you that you didn't think he was gonna get. But he's always done community events. He's always done whatever. So that's just there. And then you talk about my mom's. My mom's is a heartfelt person. You know what I'm saying? It's like her ideology in life is give first.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's always for somebody else.
Are you very religious, or?
Absolutely. I believe in Jesus Christ as our Lord and Savior. You know, we thank Him for the breath that we take in the morning. I feel like I'm getting more religious as I'm getting older because I realize the gifts that I've been given.
Right.
And I mean, when you just think about, you know, all that we've done or all that we have been through, like, somebody got us through there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, there's
you spiritual too? Like, I mean, like, I know there's like kind of the same thing, but
they're kind of the same thing, but they're not. I mean, I feel like I have the, like, morals and values that I think I should live my life in, you know, and everybody believes in the golden rule. Everybody knows the golden rule, but it's like, I believe in the 1% rule, you know what I'm saying? Like, 1% better in each and every day of every facet of life, right? So if I can be 1% better, then I can try and make somebody else 1% better.
Facts.
And if I can, you know, if I feel like I'm blessed, and if I bless somebody else, then they're going to bless somebody else. I just feel like exactly. I just feel like it all goes intertwined with. You can call it spirituality, you can call it religiousness. I just feel like the right way to live is
the right way to live.
Exactly.
I had a coach that told me, my high school baseball coach. He said that my job is not to teach you guys what to think or how, like, you know, to like what decisions to make, is to teach you how to make decisions. Right, to get you to the point of a thought process of what do you want to do, but you need to understand as you're going through it what you're thinking and what you're doing. So I always pick that up. That's somewhat relevant to that.
Absolutely. I'll tell it like this. I'll put it like this. Do you think you're self-made?
I would say yes, but I don't think anybody does anything alone. You always get some type of handout, some type of gesture, some type of person that's going to help elevate your situation. And if nobody wants to admit that, I think they're crazy. Like, at the end of the day, you got Cal, you got the Saints. So we could look at it, yeah, you were guaranteed to kind of go there, but, like, at the end of the day, like, you having people that help give you things. So self-made, yeah, I did a lot of shit through my own self, but I was lucky enough to have a lot of people around me plug me in and believe in me. So that's not all on me.
Facts. That's what I'm saying. Like, I've had this conversation so many times. Kids been like, I'm self-made. Like, nobody held my own. I mean, I hear you, but did you not have an older brother? Even if you didn't have a dad or mom, did you not have a cousin that was in your corner? You had a foundation. What was that foundational motivation?
Right.
Like, if you have a motivation, like, if you were completely by yourself, you still had God.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, there was still somebody in your corner.
And there's a point in time where everybody has a choice. You do hit a point as a young adult, too. Because, I mean, everybody's got trauma stories, nasty stuff that happens in their life. And it's like, you get a choice. That shit could be your anchor or that shit could be your fuel. And I always tell myself, like, when the bad things happen in my family or in my circle of people, I got to be the one to break this. I got to be the one to set the narrative a different direction. But you realize not everybody got that ability to identify
ASAP.
and that's where it's hard too, because a lot of people you grow up with or spend time with, as you start to transition and move,
your mindset changes and theirs doesn't.
And it happens at every level, bro. I've realized it. Like, I'm going through it right now. I'm in a process of trajectory up, and I've got some people who love me and support me. I got other people I've been around my whole life that can't stand to see it, and it's
or that want to benefit off of it without doing
the weirdest shit. I'm like, dude, I'm the most genuine person. Like, if you know what I mean, call me, you need me, I'm gonna help you out. Like, I'll stop and go pick up some shit, help you. I'll do whatever, fuck it, But it's crazy, bro. It's a crazy world, and you start to realize that not everybody got that same,
no doubt,
same mindset on shit.
Absolutely, bro. Like, you'll learn early on. Like, your parents should look out for you or whatever, but they'll always project that, like, not everybody's for you. You be like, dang, like, don't throw this distrust in me already,
right.
Like
going out the door thinking there's
going
an
out the
issue
door
already.
like, all right, what's his motive? You know what I'm saying? Like,
every person,
but I mean, you do realize that not everybody has the best intentions, but that'll figure itself out.
Have you made a lot of friends like that are like close to you, like close to Cam after the league?
Outside the league, yeah, it's probably. I mean, you find your brothers in the league. Like, if I call Mark Ing and I'm like, yo, bro, I need this, like, it's done. If I call, Akeem Hicks, I'm like, hey, bro, like, I really need you to pop up here. He's there for me.
Right.
There's guys across the league. If I be like, hey, bro, like, big ranks, just Sheldon Rankins just got a job over at the Jets. But if I call him like, hey, bro, this is what I need, it's going to get done. Like, there's a brotherhood being made. But absolutely, I've got friends outside of football that you have to.
Right.
You have to find. I'm going to keep bringing it up in the family situation. You get so like a tunnel vision of like, hey, this is what's norm for us. This is what norm for our status. This was norm for the money that we're bringing in. I'm so set up on like, hey, bro, this ain't normal. Like, none of this is normal.
It doesn't and that's the same way I am. Like, if people say like, oh, this is how it was done before. Okay, well, I'm gonna hop in. I'm gonna look at doing my way.
Right.
And if it's the first time that somebody's done it this way, watch everybody do it this way afterwards.
100%.
That's how I feel about everything.
But I also call my boy, like, I call my boy that's just regular. I'll be like, hey, like, Trev G, like, what's good? Like, bro, let me run this by you. Like, does this make sense?
Right.
Like, just because, like,
you gotta have that,
bro. Like, he lives on like the rural farm. Like, my dog, like, he's self-sufficient. My man's off the grid. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he has like 120 acres, chicken coop. He's own well.
Probably not really tapped into your world like that.
Oh no, I mean, not at all.
That's what I'm saying. So that's perfect for you to be
exactly.
able to go.
So you like, bro, does it make sense? He'd be like, bro, you spent what? I'm like, exactly.
Yeah.
He's like, bro, that's the dumbest. I'm like, all right, I thought so. Yeah, like, bro, help me bring that. Yeah, you got to
keep you in check.
Yeah, like, he's not gonna like, if everybody be like, hey, you got yes men or whatever it is, but it's not yes men. It's like just getting a different perspective. Like, if you have a whole bunch of like, hell yeah, you should do it, you should probably check your facts on that. But if you got a couple friends that like, they're not gonna tell you no, but they're like, hey, bro, like, that shit sounds silly, but it's on you.
Right.
You be like, all right, I'm gonna chill out there.
Chill out, for sure. I feel that. What about like, I know we talked a little bit before, like, just business wise, when it comes to Cam getting endorsements, or maybe Cam wants to start a business. Is that like all PR team, or like you have people, or do you have like anybody close to you that like is doing business stuff with you, or that you guys are building stuff on the side, or do you view that as a distraction?
Honestly, a distraction half the time. If it's a partnership, like a few partnerships that we've had over the years, or as many partnerships as we've had over the years, it's always been like, look, I sort of control my own narrative. Like, if you fall in line with what I fall in line with, great. And if you feel opposite of how I'm going to do things, then part ways. Yeah, like I'm not going to fall into the storyline where I have to do something.
Right.
Because at this point, like
you're well established.
Yeah, I mean, even when I was younger, I was like, when I was like super young, probably like second year in the league, I was like, I just want partnerships, like whatever it takes, whatever like. But at some point, like if you have to sort of become unauthentic for it,
right,
it's not you anymore.
Right.
And I feel like I learned that early on. It was like, yo, they need you to post, 5 times a week. They need you to, but it's all like subscripted. It feels like it's all just like these prompts. I'm like, bro, that's not me.
It's crazy because I've realized too, with a lot of different athletes I've worked with and done stuff with, especially someone like, on a whatever tier normal like me, looking at it, I'm like, man, we could get da-da-da-da-da, and you start to realize like,
all money ain't good money.
No, because it's like, not even that. It's just that it's different pillars or tiers of tax brackets, whatever the fuck you want to call it, but like percentage of money, right? Like a 30 ball or a 50 ball, to somebody who's making $800K a Sunday or whatever, you know, that it's not going to be too
moving
exciting.
the ticker, yeah.
Like, why am I going to post on my timeline this 6 times for this company to see that?
Right. And it's like, and I'm not even in the post. Like, what do you like?
Right.
This is my content. I like to control my way. Like, it's because of, I control my content that I'm even here.
Right. Do you think that there's players in the league that focus too much on that? Like a lot of them that focus too much on that?
I mean, but that's in anything though. That's in a regular job profession. Like, you could walk into Starbucks and you could see somebody who's like focused on the bean versus like somebody who's just trying to serve. You know what I'm saying? You could go into a store and be like, yo, like, oh, like you go to one of these dope skate shops or whatever, and you walk in and you like, bro, like he really lives this shit. Like he's not just pushing skates on somebody. He's a skater by life.
Right.
And just like in football,
the craft of it.
Exactly. You like, bro, he's a craftsman. Like he goes after exactly what he needs to do. Like he's an ultimate pro.
Who's the hardest working player you ever played with? Like it maybe not even talent. I mean, like it could be high school. Like just I'm saying some kid that just like a person showed up every day, just like
Mike T is so meticulous about like everything he does. Drew is so meticulous. Like I've had the pleasure of working with guys who like are overly obsessed with their craft. Like
right.
Mike T is like, I'm gonna run each one of these routes, even if it's walkthrough, like it's a game day. You know what I'm saying?
And he really lives that.
He lives that. Like the same sounds to the same motions and the same. He's
out there getting them reps in.
Bro, he's really like like he's running 7 in and he's really running at like
putting
7.
His foot down, he's getting that pivot in, he's locking his hips, he's dropping
everything. And you know what I'm saying? He's watching come in and like he's pissed if he ran an 8 in. You know what I'm saying? Like you see guys like Drew, like he probably goes through 30 helmets a year. I mean, right. You know what I'm saying? Like, if a bad player practice, he's chucking that thing.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and it's that sort of obsessive nature that you understand what it takes to succeed at that craft.
Right.
I mean, I came in, I had Jonathan Vilma there, one of the smartest linebackers to ever play the game. And like the way that he would attack practice, you'd be like, bro, that's a full-on game for you. You know what I'm
right.
Like? But if you stay ready, you don't have to get ready.
Right, that's true. What about what would you say? Who's the player that probably didn't try as hard, but then all the game comes and they would just be balling. You're just like, man, don't even work. Because I have people I play with in sports like don't even work out, don't hit the gym, kind of. But just every time the game comes, just
yeah. I mean, you see those, but they're not they're not like
it's
career
not like that
men. You know what I'm saying? No, they are for sure. You've seen guys like, bro, I need you to show up, but then they show up on Sundays and you're like, all right, but they're the same guys that may be riddled with injuries, may not make it past 4 or 5 year career. Like that's dope
because they don't lock in.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like you have to be obsessed with what we do to really love this game, to push yourself beyond just the norm. Like the average length of career in league when I got in was like 2.7 years. I think now it's like 3.2 or something like that.
Right.
But it's like, yo, it's under a contract. Like your first contract is a 3-year bean. You probably out after that. Your first contract is 4 years.
Make it to the second one.
Even first rounders ain't making it to the 5th year option. Like teams will be like, all right, I'm good.
That's true. Very true, bro. And it's got to be hard too, because I don't think a lot of people think about anything until it's already there, and then it's like, here we are.
That's why I love the saying when folks drop let the main thing be the main thing, bro. I'm here to play football. All this other stuff is great.
Hogwash.
It's great at times. It's blessings at times, and at the same time, it's a distraction.
I hear that. So to close it out, bro, I want to know, you played a long time with the great Drew Brees, right? Picked up a lot from him. What's your favorite moment with him? I mean, you guys have had so many different favorite on the field moment and favorite off the field.
I would say all my favorite moments of Drew are probably going to be off the field.
Give me a couple of them. Give me some gems.
They're all going to be parties, bro. Like for some reason, Like, you know,
People need to hear this.
You win after the game, and of course, you know, we all go into the locker room, we're all partying or whatever. You know, you see all the young kids, we hitting the gritty. You know what I'm saying? There's shakes going down. It's a phenomenal time to be in the Saints locker room after a dub. Like, Club Lil Saint, the truth. You know what I'm saying?
Is that what you call the locker room?
Yeah, that's what I call it. You know what I'm saying?
Club Lil Saint.
Club Lil Saint. It's probably been dubbed 30 different ways, but Club Lil Saint lit.
Might have to throw that on a T-shirt.
You know what I'm saying? Look, it's been on T-shirts for sure.
Well,
Like throughout the city knows. But like to see Drew dancing, like come on, because there's such an age gap between
Right.
Drew and the youngest
And a
player,
cultural
especially this year.
difference.
What is Drew like 42?
Right.
Our youngest player was like 20. You know what I'm saying? Like
You could technically be his dad.
for sure could be his
You know,
dad. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? 100% after he graduated college could then.
Right. Is he patient with them young people? Like,
Bro, Drew is the ultimate teacher. I mean, that's what your greatest leaders are going to be your best teachers.
for sure.
You know what I'm saying? Like, no singular great leader that I've ever been around or had the pleasure to meet has been like, this is mine. Like, I'm not trying to share.
Right.
Because everybody understands in a team setting and a team mentality, if I can make the person next to me or a part of our, you know, if I'm playing defense, the offensive lineman in front of me a little bit better. Like, if Ryan Ramczyk could check me, he can check anybody in the league.
True.
And because we're going against each other so often, like, he's faced anybody. Like, after his rookie year, like, he's been stellar.
Right.
In fact, probably including his rookie year. Like, I was out on him the first year. I was like, man, I'm whooping his ass. But because, like, I felt I'm also one of the best defensive ends in the game, like, you can hold your own against anybody.
Right, and you have to, or else there's no way to avoid it, or you can't be the best.
Right.
Who you got as like top 3 DNs? If you just take yourself out of the equation, just
Man.
3 other DNs.
Well, it depends on how you look at it. If you think about, like, pass rushers,
I'm talking about
Total
the
package?
total package. Like conceal the edge.
I don't know if
cut
there's-
down if they need to.
I don't know if there's total packages anymore. Like, there's few
I
and
know
far
you
between.
really can play.
Right. I'm here to play all of it, like,
Right.
from 11 on in. But
All right, so 3 linemen, bro, just D linemen.
bro, so you think about pass rushers, you think about Daniil Hunter, T.J. Watt, and then
You think TJ chance to be better than JJ accolades wise?
no. Just accolade wise, probably impossible. I mean, he
Yeah, I know.
3-time defensive player of the year. Like, you know, he hit a spell where he was going 20 sack, 10 and a half, 20. You know what I'm saying?
Something tells me TJ gonna get the hardware though.
Yeah, oh yeah, TJ might win a Super Bowl
Right.
after I retire.
How many years you got in your mind left, bro?
5 to 7.
You gonna play?
5 to 7, bro. I looked up to so many greats, and I was always like, you know, when you look up to guys like Julius Peppers, you look up to Chris Dolmans, you know,
Jared Allen.
John Randalls, Jared Allen, of course. You know, again, I was born in Minnesota, so, you know, almost everybody in purple I'm always looking at.
For sure.
But I mean, I moved here when I was 8, 7,
Right.
7, second grade, 7.
Y'all ever go back to Minnesota?
We did once, and I'm like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it changes your mindset when you're a warm weather baby. You're like, oh, we want a white Christmas. We want a white Christmas, bro. We went back one Christmas, and I was like, yo, if I never see snow again, I'm good.
Yeah.
Like, this is overrated.
Solid offense.
Yeah, and that was just me playing outside for like 20 minutes. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? I can imagine, like, I hate that.
Same as playing in the snow. Like anytime you got to play in the
Never
cold?
played in the snow before.
You ever-
I'm probably going to play this year because I just saw the schedule, and it was like every cold weather team in the freaking building. I was like, yo. I was like, D.C., the Jets, Seattle. It was like New England. I was like, bro. I was like, are they just trying to curse us at this point?
You gonna
Like,
go- you gonna go sleeveless out there?
We lose Drew, and now we get every outside stadium ever. Like, like you want to throw the Packers in there in January? Like, why not at this point?
Is that much better for the player to play in a dome?
Bro, I try and tell people I'm guaranteed 9 games inside.
Yeah.
Yeah, offensive linemen love to play in the snow, in wet weather, and
Because that's their game.
yeah,
Dirty.
Exactly, because they're just
cringy
big,
on the line.
just big fellas, and they're
Yeah,
trying to be
smack
slow
it.
maulers. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm trying to be inside. Let's see who the best athletes are. Like, give me your best 11
Right.
versus my best 11.
Right. And let's let it rip.
Outside, it's like you're catching in wind, you're catching in all these other factors. Like, no other sport has to deal with this.
Right. And the physicality of it.
That's what I'm saying. Like, there's baseball, but baseball's over by the time it's cold.
It really is. You ever play ball? Baseball?
Excuse me, what?
You ever play baseball?
Huh?
What?
What?
Did you play at Cal and I just fucked up?
Baseball's not a real sport in Chandler, Arizona.
Come on, man. Yeah, it was like biggest sport in the world, huh?
Not in Chandler. You know what I'm saying? There was football, track. Baseball is something you did to get out of football.
Shit, I'll tell
But
you
that's
right
why
now,
I
I
joined
think-
wrestling.
There's only 2 states that got spring training, Florida and Arizona.
Facts. And it's
huge cities.
packed.
Yeah,
It's packed. And that's why we used to stay out of like Tempe and Scottsdale. Like, what for?
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Like,
I feel it.
like springtime, like it's just
So
a
it's
whole bunch of
football
traffic.
football year round.
Football, track,
Football and track.
basketball, for sure hoops.
For sure hoops.
For sure hoops. Like everybody who's ever played football, at least where I'm from, had probably started out loving
so where
basketball.
your kids gonna get their swing from?
Dog, that's a great question. That's we gonna. I got phenomenal connections.
You gonna put them on the golf course too?
I got Valerie Arioto who's going to the Olympics for softball this year. We gonna find I got
gonna
3
figure
girls.
it out.
We gonna get some swings
gonna
right.
get some
You know, we got
swings,
BJ Gwynn. And like we have plenty of avenues where we can teach them swings because I can't do it.
Right.
My swing's stiff as hell. My swing's stiffer than Chandler Jones' chop.
Oh man.
I also put Chandler Jones in the outside linebacker position. That's why I didn't add him in my top 3 because him and Khalil are outside linebackers. But
I feel that. Well, bro, I don't really got anything else for you, man, but I appreciate you coming down here today and rocking with me. I know it's a little bit of slide for you, man. And
nah, it's all good. You know, have car will travel.
well, I appreciate you, man. Y'all have a good rest of your day.
Absolutely. Stay blessed, man.